Good evening, my little Bumbabees, and welcome back to the Bumba.cast. That's right, it's me, your girl, Teresa Bumbaco, here on today's 41st episode of the Pop Culture News. I know, I know, look at this. 1 week later, and I'm back already. I'm going to try to keep doing this weekly. You know, I know sometimes life happens and I get busy and sidetracked with other things, making things, designing things, just trying to make money in general, but I am going to try to make the pop culture news a weekly thing and not let 2 weeks get in between the news going on, because hopefully then we won't have really long episodes. It'll only just be an hour every week. It won't be like almost 2 hours every 2 weeks, and then you actually get more if you think about it. So I hope everybody's having a great day so far. I hope you had a great last week. As you can see, I have added some spooky things into the studio that I've always had. And that honestly, everything I have has like personal meaning to me. Like, you know, everything that I, have in my studio, it's not just something I love pop culture wise. It's something that has either been given to me by someone I really care about, or it's something I bought at a certain time, or I got it from somewhere that means a lot to me or something like that, just in general. Or, it's something that I bought in relation to, a film or TV show that I really care about, like everything that you see in the frame of the podcast is something that I really care about. It's either a TV show that I really care about, a film that I really care about, and every single thing has most of the things that I'm looking at everything right now. Most of the things that you see in the frame of the studio have been given to me by people I care about. So thank you to everybody that has contributed my little knickknacks, my little tchotchkes. Little Weird Al for you. Your tchotchkes. You know what I'm talking about?
Your tchotchkes.
Anyway, so thank you to everybody that has contributed to my little tchotchkes over the years, and I've been able to put on display. Also, thank you to everybody that has created the films and TV shows, cinematic masterpieces, if you will, to be able to put these in my studio. My hope and dream is that one day I will have not only a studio, but it will be like not like just a studio like I have right now, where it's just like, very small, but a studio where I have basically like a walk-in Blockbuster, has everything, like my VHSs, my DVDs, like everything. I got to get my DVD collection back up. I'm actually thinking about, once I move to the place that I'm going to move, and when it's time to move, I'm going to go to several pawn shops and try to get some DVDs back, maybe that I sold that haven't sold over the years. So we'll see what happens. But without further ado, I'm going to try to keep this episode under 2 hours for you guys today, or under an hour and a half, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Let's go. You know how I like to go off on my little side rants and tangents and everything like that, but there's quite a few things to talk about today, like I always say, but a lot of cool things happening in the entertainment industry, also very controversial things happening in the entertainment industry right now. But you know what? We're going to have a good time, and I'm excited to talk about everything with you guys. So without further ado, let's get into it, shall we? Okay, before we get into the first topic on the docket, okay, Snoop is on my lap right now. So if he just pops up or, whatever, makes a noise, that's what's going on right now. He's on my lap. He wanted to be on my lap, and he finally settled back down on my lap, and, we're good. So first up on the docket, we're going to be talking about Priscilla Presley being sued for allegedly pulling the plug on Lisa Marie without permission. So This is an article that I pulled from E! News. I mean, several people are talking about it right now because Priscilla actually just filed a counter lawsuit against, I guess, the people that are alleging that Priscilla did this. So I'm just going to read you this article from Haley Santa Florentina that wrote it on August 14th. 80-year-old Priscilla Presley's lawyer, Marty Singer, is slamming a new lawsuit that's been filed by her former business partners, Brigitte Cruz and Kevin Fialco, and obtained by NBC News, that has been brought against Priscilla, which alleges she ignored her daughter, Lisa Marie Presley's deteriorating health and removed her from life support against her daughter's wishes. The suit also says she waged an alleged plot to remain in control of Elvis Presley's estate. Singer called the lawsuit in a statement to People one of the most shameful, ridiculous, salacious, and meritless lawsuits I have seen in my practice. So maybe this was E! News. Or not E! News. Maybe this was People magazine. Who knows? I honestly think it was E! News, but maybe they gave maybe they gave their statement to People, because I would know it was People because I know how People breaks down their articles, and in every People magazine online article, they have a category, maybe not like a category, but like a box where it says like need to know, and it gives you like 3 or 4 to 5 bullet points stating what the article's about, what it covers, what you need to know from it, just in case you don't have time to read 3 paragraphs that are written. So that's neither here nor there. I'm pretty sure this is still E! News. I'm still going to run with that. Anyway, he also alleged it is nothing more than a sad and vicious attempt to falsely tarnish the reputation of an 80-year-old woman. Singer went on to address where Priscilla stands with her granddaughter, Riley Coe, after the current lawsuit alleged the matriarch removed Lisa Marie from life support before Coe was able to make it to the hospital. See, that's kind of fucked up. If that happened, like, why would you remove her from life support before her daughter got there? So that's kind of fucked up if that's true. But according to the attorney, Coe stands behind her grandmother 100% and is equally disgusted with this latest vicious attempt by Cruz to attempt to ruin her grandmother's life. E! News has reached out to Priscilla's legal team for comment, but has not yet heard back. NBC News reached out for comment from Coe, but a rep could not be immediately reached. The lawsuit filed on August 11th addresses Lisa Marie's 2023 death, alleging that when she and Priscilla attended the Golden Globes on January 10th, Lisa was noticeably ill, complaining to Priscilla about her health, but that Priscilla ignored warning signs. Then, per the lawsuit, when Lisa Marie experienced cardiac arrest and was taken to the hospital on January 12th, despite Lisa's clear directive to prolong her life, Priscilla pulled the plug within hours of Lisa being admitted and before her granddaughter, Riley, was able to get to the hospital. The suit claims Priscilla then asked Cruz to issue a statement to the media announcing Lisa Marie's death so she could control the narrative. It's so dark, like, what goes on, like, in the Presley family, honestly. Like, I feel like there's always something crazy going on. But I also feel like a lot of that has to do with, like, the money around it, I feel like, people can say what they want, but at the end of the day, I think, like, Priscilla really kind of saved Graceland in a way when Elvis did die, because there was a lot of vultures. Elvis paid a lot of people. Elvis gave a lot of money to people. I mean, like, he was like one of those people that, like, he would have been flat broke just giving all his shit away. And it's kind of like a Sharon Osbourne situation, stepping in, making sure that the money is secure, making sure it stays, like, mostly in the family, doing what they need to do to help the community and whatnot and fundraise and whatever else they do, but also making sure that they don't have people coming in and being able to steal their home from them. It's crazy what happens. So anyway, Cruz and Fialco also allege that they have not yet received payment for services provided in helping Priscilla manage her finances, including helping her out of debt. They also accuse her of fraud, among other allegations, including breach of various agreements for representing that she owned the right to exploit her name, image, and likeness, but that she specifically failed to ever mention that she previously entered into a purchase and sale agreement in 2005 for the right to exploit her name, image, and likeness in exchange for a payment of $6.5 million. Cruz and Fialco are seeking at least $50 million in damages and demand a jury trial. So, I don't know what any of that means. I don't, enter into a purchase and sale agreement. Like, does that mean like I buy and you? I don't know. I don't know what that means. I don't look this up. This is self-produced over here. I don't have a producer. I'm not like, hey, over there, look that up. What does that mean? Give me the definition while I'm like riffing with you guys. And I'm also not going to go out of my way to do that every single time I see something like that in an article. So I don't know what the fuck that means, but point blank, end of story. They're looking for 50 mil in damages and demand a jury trial, which I think is crazy. I think anything like this, like, you demand a jury trial for, like, like, it's so unnecessary. It's so unnecessary. So I don't know what's going to happen. I can tell you what I think is going to happen. I think what's going to probably happen is the people that are suing Priscilla will most likely settle with Priscilla and be given whatever money they say they're owed, if they can prove that they are really owed that money, and then maybe a little bit more for like having to wait for it or some shit like that, and that'll be it. It won't be no fucking, Priscilla goes to trial for pulling the plug on Lisa Marie. I mean, like, really. This is some shit. I mean, even if that did happen, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? I mean, obviously she was going to get the plug pulled on her regardless, because like she was like, once your brain loses oxygen for a certain period of time, you're gone anyway. It doesn't matter if they can revive your body or whatever. Like, what are you going to do? Keep her on fucking life support or friggin' like, a machine to breathe for her for like, 10 years, and maybe her brain will generate enough like, new cells or something like that. Guess what? The longer you're on life support, the more your like organs shut down. So that's it. Okay. We can let it go. Okay. It's not like, oh, they just had surgery and this, that, and the other thing. And like, there's a chance and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Just make you feel emotional. It's not like there's a chance or whatever. Like, it's just, it is what it is, man. You got to just like let it go. You got to let go. And I think if this is just like an attempt to collect payment for whatever services they feel entitled to have gotten payment for, I think it's kind of gross that you would go this far to allege something like that if you're just trying to get your money. Like, you don't have to go that far. Like, you could have probably just taken her to court and like tried to get your money. Like, you didn't have to say all that. So I think it's fucked up and dirty. Haven't they gone through enough? Next up on the docket, I just wanted to make a quick rant about this really quick, because I remember, I'm a 90s kid. I was born in 92. I saw the good times. I'm the last generation to know what it's like to live before the internet, when the internet was coming out, during the rise of the internet, and now AI. Okay. I've seen a lot of shit. I've seen 9/11. I've seen Katrina. I've seen a lot, lot going on. Okay. Fucking mass shootings, bombings, fucking a lot of things. Okay. I've seen a lot. I've had enough. But, that's neither here nor there. But back when I was a child in the 90s, back when you used to be able to watch like Disney Channel and Nickelodeon and, Cartoon Network didn't really come along for me until, like, later. Like, I didn't really watch that until, like, maybe, I was, like, 10, 11 or something like that when, like, Courage the Cowardly Dog, like, I saw that, like, hanging around and Ed, Edd and Eddy or Johnny Bravo or Dexter's Laboratory or something like that. But I grew up really on Nickelodeon, and sometimes I'd float over to Disney if something was going on. But anyway, if you know, because they used to have commercials that were like for sweepstakes. Like they'd be like, oh, enter this Nickelodeon sweepstakes to get your room completely redone and, like all this stuff. And it would have like your room was like so cool and you got like this like cool TV and cool like furniture set. And, it was just like dope. Or like, win a chance to go to the Nick games or win a chance to go to the fucking wherever, who knows? Who knows? I don't remember the sweepstakes, but they were always something cool. At least to a kid, they were cool. And there was never pay to enter. There was never pay to enter. Even the times that you would get like the sweepstakes card in a magazine like Nick Magazine or fucking cereal box or something like that. Like there was never no pay to enter. Most of the time there was no purchase necessary if you had the fucking sweepstakes thing to enter on already. You just put it in the mail. It was prepaid stamp. Or if you wanted to enter from the, TV or whatever, it was, I don't remember. You call or you do something.
Got the key to the room you've always dreamed of. It's the Nickelodeon Ultimate Room Instant Win Game, and you could be one of 4 instant winners who get $5,000 to turn your room into the ultimate hangout. Want an awesome entertainment center? You got it! Or maybe a ton of stuff from your favorite Nick shows. Go crazy, because your wish is Nick's command. Just make sure it's okay with your folks. How do you play? Send a postcard with your name, address, phone, and age to Nickelodeon Ultimate Room Instant Win Game. P.O. Box 7130, Melville, New York 11775. We'll send you this game card. Just rub here and see instantly if you're a winner. Also look for game cards in specially marked boxes of Post Kids cereals and Oscar Mayer Lunchables brand fun pack. 1,000 first prize winners will get Nickelodeon cat and a jock accessory. And 2,500 second prize winners will get a Nick t-shirt. There's only one way you can unlock a room this outrageous. Play the Nickelodeon Ultimate Room Instant Win Game. Brought to you by Kraft Foods, Mattel, and Nickelodeon.
I don't know, maybe a stamp, but it was no pay to enter, okay? Either way, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how you entered. There was no payment necessary to enter. And that was something they said, no payment necessary to enter, okay? Nowadays, every time I get suggested some bullshit contest online, like right now, I keep getting this paid-for advertisement from the Television Academy telling me to enter to win a chance to go to the 77th Primetime Emmys. Listen to me. Listen to me, Television Academy. I know what fucking scam you're on, okay? The same scam that like that fucking... I forget what it's called. Something with an O. Oracle. I don't know. I forget what it is. But it's something with an O. Okay. It's some kind of, it's not Oprah. It's some kind of O brand or O company or something like that. And they run these contests. Okay. Where it's like, oh, win a chance to go to the live taping of Watch What Happens Live and have dinner with Andy Cohen. Win a chance to have dinner with Seth Rogen. These are just examples of things I've seen, like win a chance to like, smoke a joint and fucking eat dinner and do pottery with Seth Rogen for the night or something. Okay. Sounds great. Let me enter. $10 an entry.
I said good day.
What? What are you fucking talking about? The federal minimum wage is $7.25 and you're asking me for fucking $10 an entry? To have dinner with Seth Rogen or go to the live taping of Watch What Happens Live or to enter to win to go to the 77th Primetime Emmys? Why are you asking me for money to enter your contest?
Get out right now.
So you're telling me you're not paying for this contest. I'm paying for this contest.
And who the hell is
X-Files?
like the biggest scam I've ever seen in my life. Like that is honestly so fucking scammy. Like when I see somebody do that shit or like take part in those like pay for entry contests, I'm like, you're a piece of shit. Because I know you've got more money than anything where like you could just completely front the money. You could probably even write it off on your taxes at the end of the year with your accountant, okay? And you still, for some reason, are asking your fans to pay to enter to meet you? Are you out of your goddamn mind? Like, what's wrong? What's happening here? No. So basically, all that tells me is that somebody with a dispensable income that doesn't worry about their financial situation, or somebody that's just like, rich and wants to do something is going to, just drop like, 100 entries real quick because they just got like $1,000 sitting around. That's not right. That's not okay to me. The days of these like, it's like it's lazy, it's con artistry. And I say it's lazy because what happened to enter to win this contest? Send us a video of yourself telling us why you think you deserve to win. Write us an essay, do something. Send us a portfolio, send us a link to your profile, do something. And then they have like some kind of staff, some kind of team that's going through and reviewing all this shit and then like, narrowing it down and then sending it to the next stage of whoever reviews the next stage and then like going from there. What happened to that? It's just laziness. It's very lazy. It's con artistry. I don't like the pay for entry contests. I think it's all bullshit. And right now, actually, the Traders is open application to anybody that wants to apply. And that's all I'm saying. So there's no pay for entry on that shit. There's no pay for entry on that shit. Like, I don't get it. Like, it's just very fucking lazy. It's just very lazy, and it's going to go to somebody that really doesn't deserve to win, that doesn't really care about the contest because it's so easily bought, or, they could just call somebody up and have this happen on any given day, realistically, because if you got the money to do that, you probably know somebody that you could just call up and make that happen. You don't need to take the opportunity away from somebody else. Period. Tuvelo.
Halloween, you can win a party with some of your favorite Nickelodeon characters and Nabisco snacks if you enter the Nabisco Nick or Treat sweepstakes. For free entry, send self-addressed stamped envelope here or look for specially marked Nabisco packages. Many will enter. One will win.
The next thing I wanted to talk about, Ron Howard, director Ron Howard, as we know, done a lot of things, okay? He, if you remember, directed a movie called Hillbilly Elegy that was like a big deal during award season, Oscar season, all this shit. And it was actually based on the memoir that Vice President J.D. Vance wrote about his childhood and mother. So anytime someone wants to say that I'm just like a crazy conspiracy theorist, like, what is this? What is this? What is this? Ron Howard friggin' makes a movie about J.D. Vance's friggin' mother, and then all of a sudden J.D. Vance is the fucking vice president of the United States. What? This is not real. We're dead. So the article says that Ron Howard is sharing the contents of a text message that he recently had sent to J.D. Vance right after the 2024 election. So the article goes on to say that Howard briefly discussed while speaking with Vulture for an interview published Wednesday, August 13th, as the legendary filmmaker promotes his upcoming movie, Eden. Howard and Vance famously worked together on Howard's 2020 movie, Hillbilly Elegy, like I said, which was adapted from Vance's 2016 memoir of the same name. During the interview, Howard was asked what and if he thinks about his adaptation of Hillbilly Elegy and the public response to it now that Vance currently serves as Donald Trump's vice president. I don't think about it. I know it's a mixed bag and probably quite culturally divided. I also know that reviews were bad and the audience reaction rating was pretty good, Howard said of the film. When Howard was asked if he and Vance had interacted at all in the years since the movie's release, Howard added, "I did one text after the election, which was just sort of Godspeed, try to serve us well." Weird. Um, the article really just goes on to say, like, just like a little bit more about, Vance's hillbilly elegy is a depiction of his upbringing in Ohio and family's background in Appalachia, whatever. Glenn Close was in it, we know, Amy Adams. It didn't get a high rating on Rotten Tomatoes, but, a lot of people watched it and a lot of people liked it, and it was getting a lot of buzz during the Oscar season. I remember that, and the award season, like I said. I'll be real with you, I never watched it. Whatever. There's just some things I'm like, yeah, whatever. You guys can have that one and talk about it. I'm good on this. I'll sit it out. I'm all right with that. So, not really much to say about that other than I think it's very weird that JD Vance and like Ron Howard have like a texting kind of relationship. Like,
I will be having fun living with your boyfriend.
I don't know. Like, I don't know, man. It's very bizarre to me. I think this is probably like one of the more random things I've ever seen. Not so random because obviously we know that Ron Howard made a film basically with JD Vance, but just weird in general that like we're living in a time where like we have vice presidents that are writing memoirs that are being adapted into fucking movies. Like, I think that shit's crazy. I mean, like, honestly, I think, I don't know. I mean, maybe Hillbilly Elegy is a crazy story. Maybe I should read it or something. But I think, isn't J.D. Vance the one they say that, like, oh, he's just the way he is because he's mad at his mother because she wasn't home and she chose a career over, like, being home with him all the time as a stay-at-home mom? Like, isn't that what they say? He's the one, right? I don't know. Somebody is the one of them. I forget which one in Trump's little administration. I think he's the one that they say that about. I don't know, man. It is what it is. What are you going to do? Into the simulation we go. All righty. Next up on the docket, we are going to be talking about my favorite human being on this planet. Ye, formerly known as Kanye West, has declared via his own pages as well as filmmaker Nico Ballesteros' pages that there will be a brand new documentary titled In Whose Name, debuting to AMC Theaters, Regal, and Cinemark on September 15th about Ye. So I'm really excited about this one. I'm pumped. I think it's going to really show a lot more of what's been going on in the last few years with Ye and a little bit more into the story. I think people really get confused about what he said on his Twitter page, that people are like, oh, he was saying some anti-Semitic shit. I mean, I know eventually he did actually say some like anti-Semitic shit, but like, you have to understand that, like I've said, I mean, I've said this time and time again. I don't want to really get into it and go on a rant or whatever, but, people that, have bipolar or are traumatized or have that trigger in them that people push a button of sorry, if you're just listening to this on audio, Snoop was like nodding out and it made me laugh. But when you have that disorder and people are calling you a name over and over and over again, you take the name back and you make it your own personal title and, identity. And, in a way you do it to push people away from you. So then it only keeps the real ones with you. And I know that Ye has personally said this time and time again. So people choose to listen to what they want to listen to at the end of the day. It is what it is. So I'll read you a little bit more about this documentary and this article. I just have to readjust Snoop real quick because he's like, can't be good for his neck to be doing all that. you know. Okay, so Nico Ballesteros is apparently the one that directed, produced, and edited the documentary, which producer Simran A. Singh calls a raw and often unsettling portrait without commentary or conclusion. It says here for 6 years by this article written by Chris Gardner from The Hollywood Reporter, Ye gave an aspiring director from Orange County unfettered access to his life, breakdowns, and inner circle. The result of that can soon be seen on the big screen in the documentary, in whose name, which will be released by AMSI Entertainment in partnership with AMC, Regal, and Cinemark on September. Yeah, it's September 19th. So I don't know what I was thinking. September 15th. Sorry, that was loud. Anyway, so Ballesteros, who started shadowing the artist, also known as Ye, at 18, shot more than 3,000 hours of footage during some of West's most tumultuous times as he struggled with mental health issues and a bipolar diagnosis, the breakdown of his marriage to Kim Kardashian, the crumbling of lucrative endorsement deals, and a series of controversies over hate-filled public statements promoting anti-Semitic views, conspiracy theories, and personal attacks on other artists and celebrities. That's all alleged. I'm off my meds for 5 months now, Ye says as the teaser opens, later adding, I would rather be dead than be on medication. Kim Kardashian can be heard in a voiceover as she breaks down in tears. She didn't sound like she was breaking down in tears. Your personality was not like this a few years ago. There are multiple shots featuring some of the couple's children and their family life. Other scenes feature West in design meetings for his Yeezy brand, leading his faith-based Sunday service gatherings, and performing in concerts. At one point, West can be seen wearing a sweatsuit with the phrase, White Lives Matter. In a statement, Ballesteros said that he started filming his own life when he was just 8. For a shy kid, the camera became both a shield and a window, a way to channel my introspection while still engaging with the world. Ye has always had someone filming him too, a lens between him and the noise. Maybe that's why we understood each other without saying much. I was able to fade into the background, stay present, the camera always rolling, catching moments outside the public performance. Per the film's official synopsis, what began as silent observation evolved into a profound journey of artistic and personal growth. Immersed in Ye's world of extremes, he bore witness to brilliance and breakdowns, triumphs and turmoil, but also observed the paranoia and intensity that increasingly shaped Ye's world in the end. Ballesteros captured not just a portrait of Ye, but a reflection of the human condition and all of its contradictions. Producer Simran A. Singh says this film presents a raw and often unsettling portrait without commentary or conclusion, like I said before, leaving viewers to interpret the events for themselves. Nico was living alongside Ye, camera in hand, not fully knowing that he was capturing what he was capturing or where it would lead, and that's exactly what makes the footage so powerful. So, like I said, that comes out at AMC Theaters, Regal, and Cinemark. September 19th. So keep an eye out at your local theaters for showtimes and whatnot. It probably won't go anywhere other than AMC for me. So I'll probably have to go to my AMC theater for it. But I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll be there. Okay. Next up on the docket, we are talking about Leonardo DiCaprio. So recently, Leonardo DiCaprio, or whenever, I don't know. I thought he was a Scorpio or something. So I don't know when the fuck he turned 50. Maybe it was last year and I just freaking missed it or something. I don't freaking know. But he's now 50.
I'm 50. 50 years old.
In case you didn't know. And recently, I guess he must have sat down with like Esquire magazine for like an interview and a cover story. In the article, it says, addressing DiCaprio, the filmmaker, director Paul Thomas Anderson said, I'm going to ask you a question and you're going to answer as quickly as you can. If you didn't know how old you are, how old are you right now? To which DiCaprio said, 32. Tell me why. So Paul Thomas Anderson does end up suggesting to Leonardo DiCaprio that he should investigate what happened when he was 32, which would reveal why this is his answer. Later on, the Boogie Nights director asked the actor a question that Esquire had prepared for him. You turned 50 last year. Does it feel like a natural time for reflection? But Leo rephrased this as you turned emotional. You turned emotionally 35 last year. Okay, what the fuck? DiCaprio's quote quickly drew ridicule on social media, with some fans reading it as an effort to justify the fact that he is known to date women much younger than himself. The film star has been most recently romantically linked to supermodel Vittoria Soretti, who's 27. The couple attended the Met Gala together in May when Soretti was 26. So I don't know if this is kind of like maybe Leo's like doing damage control. He's like, listen, the reason that I date really young women, that sometimes I don't date them beyond their expiration date of 25 years old, is because I'm only 32. I'm only 32. It's okay. I don't know. Men are weird. What do you know? What are you gonna do? They're all fucking weird. You know, Leonardo DiCaprio included. They're all weird. You're swanging dick. There's something wrong. I mean, even if you're right, you're wrong. I mean, you know, it's just the way she goes, you know? It's just the way the cookie crumbles. It's I don't know. There's got to be another analogy in there or something, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. But Paul Thomas Anderson, in the article, it also goes on to say, also seemed to relate to the idea. After posing the age question to DiCaprio, the 55-year-old filmmaker noted, by the way, my answer was 27. Striking a more serious note, DiCaprio also opened up during the Esquire chat about turning 50, which he said creates a desire to be more honest and not waste time. I can only imagine how the next few decades are going to progress. I look at my mother, for example, and she just says exactly what she thinks and wastes no time. She spends no time trying to fake it. I've been doing this since day one. Like, what the fuck? What is he talking about? DiCaprio continued being more upfront and risking having things fall apart, or risk the disagreements, or risk going your separate ways from any type of relationship in life, the personal, the professional. It's that you don't want to waste your time anymore. You have to just be more upfront. It's almost a responsibility because much more of your life is behind you than it is ahead of you. He's going to be the Al Pacino and the Robert De Niro type, where he's going to be popping kids out in his fucking 80s. I'm telling you that right now. It's going to happen. He's following the George Clooney path. I think he's going to do, like, his path is going to be very, very similar to George Clooney. Because George Clooney kind of like lived that like bachelor lifestyle for a really long time. And then, like, I don't know, what is he in his 60s now or something like that? He got with Amal, you know, in his 50s or something like that, late 40s, whatever it was. And everything changed for him. Maybe Vittoria Soretti is his Amal. Maybe this is it for him. And he's going to start popping out kids soon. And they're going to go to France or wherever the hell George Clooney is at. I don't know. But this whole I'm mentally 32 thing, Leonardo DiCaprio, I'm mentally fucking exhausted, okay? You're mentally 32. Thank you for confirming what we all know. Men are like 18 years behind what their ages actually are in their fucking heads, okay? So if you think you're dating an older man, subtract 18 to 20 years, and that's how old he really is. So you think you fucking lucked out meeting a man that's like 41 years old, got a career, does his own thing, his own house, has his own money and everything. Guess what? He's not 42. He's more like 24.
That's life.
His frontal lobe ain't even there yet. So I mean, you gotta do these maths. You gotta equate the maths. You gotta do the PEMDAs. You gotta carry the one. You gotta do the things, okay? Because this is just life.
That's life.
If you want to date a man, these are just the guidelines and the formulas that you have to follow in order to survive out there. Otherwise, you're just withering away and, you know, never want to leave the house, which there's nothing to leave the house for anyway. Okay. I'm really excited to talk to you guys about this one because I have been telling everyone to be careful of Hannah Berner for quite some time now. Now, no. Has Hannah Berner officially been named as this person? No, she has not. But I will tell you right now, based on what I heard in this podcast that I listened to And based on what the streets are yelling at the top of their lungs, I'm going to confidently allege that this is about Hannah Berner. Right now. Former Summer House reality star Hannah Berner turned podcaster for Giggly Squad, turned stand-up comedian that has like her own Netflix specials and all kinds of other shit. And I've been very confused as to why she has these things for a very long time, because I don't find her funny. I don't. I think there's something very wrong there. I can see it. I just can't quite place it, but she's phony as hell. I know she is. I know she fucking is. I know she is. I just know it. I just know these things. I call it like I see them, okay? Now, this was brought up because I started seeing this around on the internet, and I was like, what are they referring to? What are they talking about? Well, I don't know if it's like another part, because there is another episode coming out from this podcast. It's called The Bonfire with Big J Okerson and Robert Kelly. They are male comedians. They recently had a female comedian, Kim Congdon, on there. And they were talking about comedians that they've worked with, for, written for, whatever in the past, or just, worked around, in the comedy field, stand up, whatever, and experience like bad experiences. Well, they got on the topic of Kim Congdon stating verbatim that there is a comedian who I wrote for who stole like $10,000. And they started saying, like, say her name, or say their name, say their name. They thought it was a man. Say his name, say his name, say his name. Okay. She goes on to say this person is famous but shouldn't be, is undeservingly famous. And the more they kept saying, like, what's his name, all Kim says is she refused to pay me my money, and then added into the email an attorney who threatened to tell Netflix that I was difficult to work with if I came after the rest of my payment. Literally think of someone who's never had one joke and is famous. So they start like riffing about, ideas. And then at some point they are like, oh, I think I know who this is. Like the male comedians, I think I know. And they mute their mics and they tell each other who it is, they know. And they're like, oh, I fucking knew it. I knew it was her. Everything about the interview that I listened to sounded like Hannah Berner. And a lot of people online also believe it's Hannah Berner. And I believe it's Hannah Berner. I believe it. I fucking believe it. I believe it. She looks like she would do something like that. She looks like she would do something like that. I mean, there's no way that this girl comes into work every day and, like, is coming with her own ideas. She's paying somebody. Somebody's ghostwriting that shit for her. Like, there's no way. And I don't know who she signed her soul over to, but, like, I don't know how she got this big, huge comedy career from fucking Summer House, because she's not funny enough. She's not. I mean, fucking Nene Leakes. She tried to do the stand-up comedy thing and did it for a while or whatever. Like, she should have been what Hannah Berner became. Let's be real. Nene is actually laugh out loud, fucking, like, belly hurt laugh. Okay, funny. Hannah Berner is not. She's like, the fuck? Like, she says these jokes that are like, I don't know, like, they're like to make people feel better about themselves or something. I don't fucking know. It just like real lowbrow comedy to me. And I think Paige is like conversationally funny when she's with people that make her comfortable. But like we saw at the Vanity Fair, like red carpet or whatever for the Oscars, like them interviewing people, it was a fucking mess. Paige, the beta blockers didn't work. You still were bad. So that just means you're just bad at it. Like you can't be conversationally funny with anybody other than people that you're comfortable with. So that's what I got to say about that. But I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that Hannah is getting caught doing this shit. And I'm glad that Kim Congdon is speaking up about it. Obviously, she's not going to say the comedian's name because obviously if Hannah's going to, or somebody allegedly is going to send in an email like that, threatening to ruin your reputation just because they don't want to pay you another $10,000 that they incurred by you writing jokes for them, like that's crazy. That's crazy. Not only are you not paying them, but you're threatening to ruin their career.
Hello? Are you fucking stupid?
That's fucking wild. Everything Kyle Cook ever said about Hannah Berner is 100% true. I said what I said. So stay mad about it. Keep supporting the Giggly Squad. I don't give a shit. Like Hannah Berner is done to me. She's been done. You know, she's cashed. You know, it's over. So, I mean, at this point, if you're still supporting Hannah Berner, then it's time to reflect. Look inward. Before I move on with a couple more of the last few stories, I did want to say this. I have a prediction. So now that, like, this stuff is starting to, like, come out and, like, whatever, and, you know, Hannah Berner is kind of, you know, being a little bit exposed or whatever, there have been other moments where Hannah has been super controversial and just, like, weird and had a lot of several microaggressions toward, like, Black women that have been both on Summer House and at the Vanity Fair red carpet with Meg Thee Stallion. And I believe that if this is something that eventually blows up enough to put Hannah's career at risk, where it looks like Paige needs to rethink her being in Giggly Squad, or Paige needs to rethink being close to Hannah or something like that, I would not be surprised one bit if Paige tries to go back to Craig.
I said what I said.
I wouldn't be surprised because Paige, you know, from what I can tell, and I was a fan of hers, lot of behavior of hers that I've seen, especially in relationships, it's very ladder climbing. Every time I've seen her get in a relationship with somebody, it's something she's trying to benefit from. I understand, like, you know, some women want to date, like, more successful or more wealthy men than them to elevate to another level, but I think that's weird. I think that that's shady behavior. I think if you're dating men just to elevate to another social status in life or another financial bracket, I think that is very shady character behavior. I don't think you need to step on anybody or manipulate anyone or get into a relationship with anybody to get to another level in life if you're good at what you do and you're a good person. I think it might take you a little bit longer, obviously, but I think it's weird. I think every time that I've seen Paige date somebody, there's always been some kind of opportunist aspect to it. I think she got to a certain point in her career with, like, Summer House and started getting, you know, like the Giggly Squad and everything, and started getting these other jobs like commercials and whatever else. And I think in a way she was like, okay, I'm bigger than Craig now. I'm making more money than Craig now. I don't need Craig anymore. I need another level of person to level up with. And I wasn't aware of this, but Joe D'Amelio apparently has, like, Pfizer money. I know nothing about the D'Amelio family, but now Paige is getting involved with fucking, you know, like Pfizer people. So I'm just like, yeah, okay. So whatever. I love Craig and Sewing Down South, and By the Way, and his little spritz brand. I don't mean like little, but I mean like his spritz brand and like all that shit. Good for him. Okay. And, you know, he makes time for his fans. He goes to all these pillow signings in between him traveling all over the place. Craig is a good guy. So, I mean, you can't make me hate Craig. You really can't. I mean, like, it is what it is. And like I said, I would not be surprised if, you know, once it cools down a little bit more, and if the Hannah relationship with Paige is not looking like it's going to keep going up anymore for Paige, and if Paige deems it a point where she needs to kind of separate herself from Hannah, I wouldn't be surprised if Paige tried to go back to Craig. I don't think Craig will take her back, though. I think he's done. I think he's been too hurt. And I also would really hope that he would expose her for that. Like, try to show us the DMs if she ever does that, please. I need to see him. Okay, you guys, I'm so excited to talk to you about this. So 2 days ago, I was online, and as I pulled up Instagram, news had immediately broken that it was announced that Regina Hall and Anna Faris are both coming back for Scary Movie 6 that is being written by Marlon Wayans, Sean Wayans, and Keenan Ivory Wayans. So we are all fucking back, okay? Everybody is back, okay? So Danny Pellegrino had posted this a while ago saying that, like, you know, that's what we need. We need, like, Cindy and Brenda and, like, you know, AKA Regina Hall and Anna Faris to come back to Scary Movies. Like, that's what we need. We need them back. And there was an interview with Anna Faris where she sat down with somebody and they actually read the tweet that Danny had posted about it. And they were like, what would it take for you to go back and come back to the movies? She's like, well, you know, money, but, you know, how also, you know, like, I love them. They're great. You know, I love Regina, and, like, you know, I love the Wayans brothers and everything. And so I'm so happy, because all I'm going to say is not only are they back, but this piece of hair is pissing me off. Not only are they back, but they're paid, baby. You know that they pulled up with that check and they were like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, guys. We fucking got you. Like, don't even worry about it. Like, so I just love all the Scary Movies, because Brenda has died like 2 or 3 times, and they just keep bringing her back. That's how much we love Brenda. Like, you can't have a Scary Movie without Brenda and Cindy. You just fucking can't. And also, real quick, because I've seen some people posting this online, listen, quick pop culture lesson. A quick lesson in pop culture. Scream with Neve Campbell, Jamie Kennedy, Skeet Ulrich, Matthew Lillard. Okay? That Scream, okay? Neve Campbell's character is Sydney Prescott, okay? I almost said Sydney Campbell. Sydney Prescott, okay? Now, Sydney Prescott's character in Scream is played by Neve Campbell, like I said, okay? In the Scary Movie franchise, Anna Faris's character, Cindy, is a parody of Sydney Prescott. I've seen a lot of people saying, oh, Sydney is back. No, Cindy is back. Sydney is also back because there's going to be Scream 7. So this is going to be a little confusing for a while here, because, you know, Neve Campbell is back because they fired, you know, Melissa Barrios or whatever her name is. And then Jenna Ortega dropped out because Melissa Barrios was saying pro-Palestine, and the studios were like, that wasn't why, that was why. And so they suddenly had the money all of a sudden to pay Neve Campbell to have her come back for Scream 7. So that's coming. So we're going to have Sydney Prescott back, and we're going to have Cindy, whatever the fuck, Anna Faris. Does Cindy have a last name in the Scary Movies? Probably. I don't know what it is. Anyway, so Cindy and Brenda are back. I mean, I'm so happy about this. I'd like to think that I manifested this news breaking, because as you guys know, in pop culture news number 40 last week, what did I put in? I put in a Brenda clip for the first time ever in the podcast. Put in a Brenda clip, and what happens? News breaks. We're back, ladies. So this article from the Hollywood Reporter goes on to talk about what I said, the reboot for Scary Movie that's going to be hitting theaters next year. Like I said, Marlon, Sean, and Keenan Ivory Wayans wrote the script for director Michael Tidis. A new project that was announced last year at CinemaCon, known for satirizing horror flicks. The Scary Movie films launched with the first title hitting theaters in 2000 and spawning 4 sequels. We can't wait to bring Brenda and Cindy back to life and be reunited with our great friends Keenan, Sean, and Marlon, 3 men we'd literally die for, in Brenda's case again, Faris and Hall said in a joint statement about their characters. The 6th film in the franchise hits theaters June 12th, 2026. Paramount is handling global distribution for the forthcoming title through their first look deal with producer Miramax, which distributed the first 3 features. The reboot is set to begin shooting in October. I've been seeing all these advertisements saying that they're casting for it, and I need to find like the casting company or like something like that because like, put me in, coach. I'm ready. It's apparently filming in Atlanta. I'll fucking go. I don't give a shit. Rick Alvarez and the 3 Wayans brothers are writing and producing the new Scary Movie film, starring Faris as Cindy and Hall as Brenda. The first Scary Movie opened in July of 2000 with $42 million at the domestic box office. The title set records for the biggest opening weekend for an R-rated horror film and a black director. After their successes with Scary Movie, the 3 Wayans brothers collaborated on White Chicks in 2004 and Little Man in 2006 before working on solo projects. So this is a huge like homecoming for them. Like they haven't all done a movie together in a long time. And I know that Marlon Wayans has also been talking about doing a White Chicks 2, which take as much time as you need to make it as beautiful as I know you will be making it. Okay. Take as much time as you need because I know they won't fuck this up. I know they won't. And I know that they will bring the real comedy that it was when it first came out. Like I'm talking Brenda.
I just got a weird feeling something bad is heading my way. Like when you see an Asian person behind the wheel of a car.
I need that. I need that. I need that energy. Okay? I need that. I need the jokes that nowadays people go, ooh, are they allowed to say that? Guess what they did? What are you going to do about it? What are you fucking do about it? Nothing. This is what we do. Comedy is to make the uncomfortable comfortable by making us all laugh about it, okay? We laugh at the stereotypes. We mock the stereotypes. We bring it. Listen, Scary Movie 3, as we know, okay? There is a scene that parodies The Others with Nicole Kidman, okay? And it's Charlie Sheen going into what's supposed to be his daughter's room, and there's what's supposed to be his daughter on the floor underneath this like little veil and shit, like playing with a fucking puppet or whatever, which is a scene in The Others. Like Nicole Kidman goes in the room and like thinks it's her daughter under the veil playing in her wedding veil or whatever. He's like, that ain't my fucking daughter. And he lifts up the veil and he's like, what have you done with my daughter? Because he sees like it's not his daughter and it's like clearly what's supposed to be Michael Jackson. And they start like getting in a fucking fisticuff in the room or whatever. And he's like, I know you did something with my daughter or you took my daughter or whatever. And the guy that's supposed to be Michael Jackson's like, I promise I didn't touch her. She's just a girl. And then he starts like moonwalking and like going, oh, like in the fucking room before he like, I don't know, either gets thrown out the window or backflips out the window and like runs off into the fucking the cornfield, you know, because it's supposed to be a spoof of Signs, too, in that movie.
Where is my daughter?
Are you mad? I am your daughter.
No, you're not. Come here. What did you do with Sue?
I didn't touch her, I swear.
I don't believe you.
Please, for God's sakes. She's a girl.
You sick.
And this is why I brought it up. So Michael Jackson tried to sue over that scene. He tried to sue because everybody knew it was supposed to be Michael Jackson, you know, or whatever. But Michael Jackson tried to sue and was like, this is defamation. This is, you know, whatever, slander, defamation, whatever. Because libel is written defamation. So it was slander. It was like defamation, slander, whatever. And the court determined, they were like, this is comedy. Like, you know, you're not It's not like they're stating something about you. It's a parody of something that's been stated. It's not. You can't do that. So I hope they still bring the same energy. Fingers crossed they do, because, I mean, I see things that Marlon does, meet and greets he's in and whatnot. And I think Marlon Wayans is still that guy that like pushes the envelope. So I think I'm very confident that they will bring it back to its former glory. And I really hope that this is something that also triggers a domino effect in film with comedy movies that come out, because we don't have enough really funny movies anymore. They just don't make them anymore. And the reason they don't make them anymore is because, you know, even Vince Vaughn has talked about this. Other comedians have talked about this. Like, the studios don't want them to be made. It doesn't matter who wants them to be made. It doesn't matter who wrote the script. It really doesn't matter. They're like, no, comedy doesn't really make as much money as the Marvel movies, or comedy doesn't make as much as this, or comedy doesn't make as much as that. Like, they don't want to put the money into the comedy anymore. And like a lot of the times, like, if they're putting the money into comedy, it's like, you know, Adam Sandler, who's signing like, you know, $250 or $500 million deal with Netflix to do like 6 movies or something like that. So it's like, then where does the money go for the comedy? So I think a lot of the times with comedy nowadays, you kind of have to do it yourself. You know, I think I mean, I hope that a lot of comedians start coming together and doing their own studios and production companies and things like that, and just start doing it themselves, because that's what it's looking like these days. You want it done right, you got to do it yourself.
Because she was one of that. That's was a laboo-boo.
That is not a laboo-boo.
Is that a laboo-boo?
No.
But it's very cute. That's very cute. It's in my little. But you know what?
Laboo-boo is like.
That's not even a lafoo-foo.
Well,
that doesn't look anything like.
It's special to me because Dr. Narula's daughter gave it to me to add to my collection. So how do you feel? It's even better than a laboo-boo.
Yeah.
I feel great because I knew it wasn't a laboo-boo. But
it's just fun saying laboo-boo.
I couldn't help it. It has no teeth. Come on.
You wanted to talk about teeth.
I know.
You come at me, I'll come back at you.
Wow. Don't you just love it? Don't you just love it this time of year? So that was a clip of Robin Roberts, who actually was a former sportscaster for ESPN for 15 years when she ended that in 2005 to start co-hosting Good Morning America. So Michael Strahan is now on Good Morning America as well. And I'm glad she fucking said that shit. I'm glad she came at him. Like, why are you bullying her about a fucking stuffed animal that clearly means something to her or was given to her by someone that means something to her? Like, it's one thing to, like, mock the laboo-boo, the lafoo-foo, whatever. But when she follows it up by saying, it's special to me because Dr. Narula's daughter gave it to me to add to my collection. So how do you feel? And he just keeps going like he feels great and then talks about like the laboo-boo not having any teeth.
Guess what, motherfucker?
Michael Strahan, haven't you ever heard of the phrase, people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones? Bro, I'm so glad Robin Roberts said that, because like I would have thought the same thing. I would have said the exact same fucking thing. I would have said the same thing. Like, you're one to talk about teeth. I mean, really? I don't care that we're talking about laboo-boos. Do not talk about teeth. What is this? We're talking about physical appearances now, Michael Strahan? The fuck is this? And that gap in his teeth, I swear to God, it gets bigger every time I see it. Every time I see it, it gets bigger. And I know they get bigger over time. So I wonder how far it's going to be. I wonder how far they're going to be away from each other by the time he's finally retired from Good Morning America. Like,
Did he just go up in the air? I swear to God, he did. Come on. That man.
Where did the suspect go?
He's gonna be able, like, he's almost to the point where he can like put a straw in between his teeth and just hold it there.
I don't care. I love it.
Like, he's almost there. And certain straws he probably could. Like those little tiny coffee stirrer straws probably would be too small for the gap. They'd probably fall out. Like, he probably wouldn't be able to hold one of those in between the teeth, the gap he has going on right now. Woof. But yeah, I don't understand that. Like, why make a comment about it? I think it's really weird. I'm glad she said something. They obviously play it off like, oh yeah, like, we're fine. It's all fun and games. But I'll tell you right now. He was talking mad shit. There's no way he wasn't. He was totally talking mad shit, like behind the scenes. He was saying something to somebody. He was like, that fucking bitch. I can't believe she fucking said. I know he was. And the sad thing is that, like, when a woman says something like that to a male coworker of hers, like, there's always a chance that, like, she's going to be the one to get in trouble when clearly he was the one under the radar bullying her and baiting her into saying something. But, like, she would get in trouble for it because she, like, reacted. So you can't react in, like, a corporate workplace. You're not allowed to react. You have to take the abuse no matter what, especially as a woman. You have to take the abuse. Otherwise, if you try to tell somebody about it, it'll be like, oh, I felt a way about this. They're like, okay, well, we'll report it. We'll talk to them. We'll do something about it. Meanwhile, they're starting to write up a report about what they're going to do to fire you. That's life.
That's life.
All right. Last up on the docket. Look at this. We're getting it under an hour and 15 minutes. We did it, everybody. We did it. So last up on the docket today, we're going to be talking about Pete Davidson again. I'm sorry.
Tell me why.
Sorry. He just won't shut the fuck up. So I got to keep going off. I got to keep going off. Okay. So listen. I can't remember if I talked about this on the podcast. I think I might have. I can't remember, so don't fucking come for me if I've already addressed this before. But you never know who's listening now. They might not have heard me talk about it. Maybe I just addressed it on my Instagram. I don't know. But Pete Davidson, a few months ago or whatever. So let me start from the beginning. During his whole I don't even know if he's been sober a full year yet. Okay, I don't think he has. But during this whole, like, mental health and sobriety journey of his, he has been completely changing his personality and himself. And I don't know if he's going to what he is or he's becoming something that he think he should because he's not doing all these things anymore. I don't know exactly what's going on, so don't come for me. But he just kind of keeps coming off as super ungrateful to me. A few months ago, he was talking about how he only made $3,000 an episode at SNL. Meanwhile, like, SNL, you get, like, Christmas breaks, and then you don't work during the summer. And push comes to shove, I don't know what you take home after taxes just from SNL, but that's $12K before taxes. And I know you're getting brand deals, commercial deals, you're writing things for other programs, doing movies on the side when you're doing the SNL thing. So he was making more than $12,000 a month, because even just $12,000 a month at SNL, I feel like that's pretty good. It's pretty good. I would take it. Even if I only took home like $9,000 at the end of the month and they took like $3,000 in taxes, or if they took even if they took like $4,000 or $5,000 in taxes, I think I would be happy with that. And then on top of the other money I'm making, I'm good. What do you need all that money for, Pete Davidson? It sounds like you're just, in hindsight, looking back, pissed off at yourself that you spent all that money on drugs, alcohol, and running your cars into people's homes. That's what it sounds like to me. Because I'll tell you right now, that sounds really good. It sounds like I'd be able to not only live in New York City, but eat out every single day, pay all my bills, and fucking probably be able to have a therapist.
Hello? Are you fucking
So I don't know what you're talking about. Weird. That was the first thing he did. Then he got this Elsie Hewitt girl pregnant, who I also think is a ladder climber with relationships. That's a whole other argument for another time. She was dating Jason Sudeikis just last year, so apparently she's got quite a lineup. So she does this. So Pete Davidson is the one that's stuck. So there's that. Okay, but that's completely whatever. Who gives a shit? He's having a baby in his first year of sobriety. Whatever. He's removing all his tattoos that he used to love. Whatever. Excuse me. Now he's like sitting down on a podcast it's called The Breakfast Club. So if you know about The Breakfast Club, it's a podcast that Charlemagne the God does. So he sat down with them. I don't know if it's necessarily just a podcast or if it's a radio show. Maybe it's a radio show, not a podcast. I don't know, but I know they're always sitting in something that looks like a radio studio. So he sat down with Charlemagne the God, and he's talking about that he's upset that Ariana Grande basically, he didn't say her name exactly, but she's responsible for putting it out there that he's got big dick energy and he's got a big dick. And apparently he's sad. He's sad about this now. He's sad that everyone knows that he's got a big dick and that's all anyone ever talks about is his big dick. And he's so much more than his big dick. And stop talking about his big dick. Meanwhile, here he is bringing up his big dick. Nobody's talking about this shit anymore. Nobody's talking about it anymore. No, I've not heard one mention of Pete Davidson and his BDE once in, I don't know how, like 6 months to at least a year. At least a year. I haven't heard this phrase. And now Pete Davidson is bringing it up again, saying, stop talking about it. You fucking brought it up, brother. You did. You brought it up. Nobody asked you to do that. You did it, brother. You did. Okay? I don't understand. Let me read this article to you. So this is from Entertainment Weekly, okay? During a recent appearance on The Breakfast Club, Davidson, 31, reflected on the intense media attention that came from his high-profile relationships during his early career years on Saturday Night Live. The comedian debuted on SNL season 40 just 2 months shy of his 21st birthday in 2014. A few years into his tenure, his relationship with Ariana Grande led to a media frenzy that spilled into his work on SNL. Davidson, who remains the show's fourth youngest cast member ever, behind Anthony Michael Hall at 17, Eddie Murphy, 19, and Robert Downey Jr. at 20, noted that while the show as a whole loved how his relationship brought more viewers to the series, but it was annoying for the cast. I brought a lot of pop culture into the show, like I made it a sort of tabloidy, trendy thing unintentionally, Davidson told host Charlemagne the God. Also, I was embarrassed by it because no one talked about any work I was doing. They were just like, oh, that's the fuck stick. And that hurt so much. You gotta laugh. You gotta laugh. You gotta laugh. Oh, boo-hoo. 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 Poor Pete Davidson. Boo-hoo.
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
This is serious.
I know. This really is the world's smallest violin. See?
Oh, God. I know. I put him down because I had to go to the bathroom, and now he's like, pick me back up. Listen, it's 2:00. You haven't finished your breakfast. You need to finish your breakfast. So anyway, the article goes on to say, he recalled the SNL crew members, family, and friends noticed how sad and embarrassed he was about the attention after a while. No one was outrightly? You mean outwardly mean by any means? God, those brain cells are fucking fighting for their lives in there, aren't they? The article does go on to mention that he obviously dated a lot of high-profile people. So Pete Davidson is also a star fucker. Pete Davidson started out, so he was dating Carly Aquilino from Girl Code / like just stand-up comedian now, and just overall like probably one of the funniest women alive right now. period, point blank, end of story. Like, Carly is hysterical. So he dated her. I think they're actually on okay terms because she was in like the Prince of the King of Staten Island, whatever the fuck that was. I don't know. But she was in that randomly as like a side. What the hell is that? Like a side role. So they must be like on okay terms. So that relationship must not have like crashed and burned as badly. But then after that, I don't know who he dated in between, if there was a girl, but then he started dating Cassie David, and he was with Cassie David for like 4 years, and then they broke up. But then, according to Cassie, they were talking to get back together, and then that's when she saw in the tabloids Pete making out with, whatever, holding hands with Ariana Grande, and they like went public and official with their relationship. Like, Pete was trying to talk it out with his ex, Cassie David, aka Larry David's daughter, and he went with Ariana Grande instead. And then they got engaged and then broke up. And then he dated some other people. I know that there was like maybe an Olivia Wilde or a Kate Beckinsale in there, something like that. I don't remember who. Kim Kardashian. What the hell? Kim Kardashian. Yeah, it does say here Kate Beckinsale. I was right. Also, Emily Ratajkowski. And then Bridgerton's Phoebe Dynevor, Denever, I don't fucking know. And then Chase Sue Wonders. I don't fucking know how to say that. Sorry. She's another actress or something. So Pete Davidson just dates like all these like famous women or whatever, right? So he does this. He's got a history of doing this. He's a star fucker, just like his girlfriend. So I think they met their match with each other. The article does go on to say Charlemagne questioned what caused Davidson's discomfort, pointing out, "You was banging a lot of hot chicks and had a 10-inch penis."
Go to sleep! Go to sleep! You're crazy! Go to sleep! No, don't be mean to...
You know, on paper, that sounds great, Davidson acknowledged to the laughter of the co-host. It's embarrassing because, you know, it's Hollywood. Everybody fucks everyone. Why are they focusing on me? I wonder the same thing. He does go on to say that he shared that he believes the viral attention, right down there. The viral attention was mainly because he's not Glenn Powell handsome. What? Glenn Powell's, you know, we watching him too, okay? Don't worry about this. And people they're looking at you because you're fucking doing weird shit, okay? Glenn Powell's not fucking ramming his car into people's homes in Beverly Hills multiple times, doing weird shit, okay? What? Anyway, people were questioning how he captured the attention of his partners. I'm just like this dude that tells dick jokes and is a drug addict. However, Davidson noted that the sexualization of me was out of hand. If that was a girl, people would be like, there would be a march for it. Seriously, you're just talking about my dick all day. They don't talk about girls like that professionally, like it was professional. It was like pointed out on the street, like it was embarrassing.
Ain't no way.
Like, shut the fuck up.
Ain't no fucking way.
Get over it. He's like walking around acting like fucking Ariana Grande went on Twitter like saying he had a mushroom dick or something. Like, I mean, honestly, like you need to just fucking chill out. You really need to chill out. It's not that fucking big a deal. And I'll tell you right now, okay? I will tell you right now, the reason that you only get media attention around your big dick, or you think you only get media attention around your big dick, is because you're not giving anything out and putting anything out that's memorable or worth a damn for people to think about anything other than the fact that Ariana Grande tweeted about you having a 10-inch dick. Let's be real, Pete Davidson. Let's go tit for tat and have the brass tacks laid the fuck out. Let's be real right now, okay? That's why everyone's talking about your big dick, because there's nothing else going on. You landed, I've talked about this so many times, but somehow, you fucking Kim Kardashian for a few months landed you an opportunity at Hulu to get Edie Falco and Joe Pesci on a TV show about your life dramatized, and you still fucked it up. And you think people are going to talk about anything other than the fact that, like, you used to fuck Ariana Grande and you've got a big dick, maybe?
Guess what, motherfucker?
I will walk hard.
I don't know. Maybe you should be grateful that people aren't talking about you the way I talk about you. Talking about the fact that you just run your cars into people's houses. Because that's how I talk about you. I don't fucking talk about your dick. I don't want to talk about your dick. I'm talking about it now. I didn't want to, but you brought it up. I don't tell you. I don't know what to tell you. You don't want people to talk about your dick? Stop talking about it. Because now people are talking about it again. I never talked about it on this podcast a day in my life. And here I am. 2.5 years in. Almost 2.5 years in. 2 years and 3 months, 4 months. For the first time ever.
I'm dating a guy with the funkiest tasting spunk.
I'm talking about Pete Davidson's dick. Never did. And why? Because he brought it up. But don't talk about it, everybody. Don't talk about it. He doesn't want you to talk about it. Shut up. Don't talk about it. Well, that's a wrap on this episode of the 41st Pop Cultured News. I hope you had as much fun as I did, keeping you as updated and as pop cultured as I physically can. You know I do it all for you and the love and support you keep on giving me. I'm so loved. You really love me.
You love me. You really love me.
I'm so grateful. Keep on spreading the good word and don't forget to turn on those automatic downloads wherever you get your podcasts. And if you're not following me on social media, what's your damage? That's at Bumba.cast for both, well, for all Instagram, Threads, and TikTok, as well as YouTube at the Bumba.cast pod. So, until next time, I'll see you soon, my little Bumbabees.